All right, so hey, people of God, this is Rashana B back with On My Way Up movement. You guys, I'm back with just basically a positive, encouraging word. This isn't necessarily spiritual. I guess in a way it is, but this was something that was heavy on me yesterday. And what I want to tell you all is don't get caught up in following fads and fashion sense and the styles. Okay? Don't get caught up in making it just this huge point or a big deal in staying current with the fashions and the styles and the fads of the day. Okay? Because some of them, okay, if not most of them, are designed to dilute you. Okay, they're designed to program you. They're designed to water you down and have a way of giving you a herd mentality. Okay, believe it or not, it is some people that are willing to commit heinous crimes just to be able to afford fashion. Okay, some of these things that are deemed fashionable, y'all, are just straight up just sin. Okay, we got men now that are wearing fingernail polish. They're wearing purses. I don't care if they're Michael Kors, Louis Vuitton or not. Okay, and that's a fad. But believe it or not, this is a way to neutralize, minimize masculinity. Okay, but if you have made it a point to stay current in fashion, you're not even realizing that. You're just thinking this is just stylish. Some people are wearing things that they don't even like just because it's the style. This is a part of a herd mentality. Okay, I'm guilty of it, especially when I was a younger woman, wanting to stay current and things like that, wanting to be fashionable. And in some ways that's okay, but I'm saying it's some fads, some things that are going on right now, some things or ways that people are dressing that clearly something is wrong. Okay, and you will get washed up. Okay, you will get swallowed up by this world by doing things like that. Okay, being so consumed with staying fashionable and keeping up with the fads. Okay, and let me reword that. There's nothing wrong with being fashionable. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to continue to be fashionable. Okay, so let me go ahead and reword that. What I'm talking about is fads. Okay, fads. Okay, things that people are doing for that specific time, and everybody's doing it, and you're doing it because everybody's doing it, and you're not even realizing the impact that it's making on your life, your psychology, your spirituality, sometimes in some cases even your emotions. But I want you to understand, some of these things are insidiously implemented in cultures to dilute a person or a gender or a race or a sex, okay, to water you down, program you, and give you this herd mentality. People of God, in this day and age, that's a horrible thing to get caught up in a herd mentality. You get caught up in a herd mentality, you will get led to the gates of hell. Okay, fads will lead you to the gates of hell. Because this is what I want you all to understand. And let me go ahead and take it a step further. Okay, certain people wear certain uniforms. And for example, a police officer, when that police officer goes home, he's a father and a husband. And his whole demeanor and disposition changes a lot of the times, right? He becomes a lot more, warm, docile. He's a lot more calm. He's a lot more tranquil. I'm sure a lot more at peace, relaxed. He has a whole different demeanor. He puts on this police officer unit and everything about him changes. Same thing with nurses and doctors, wardrobe, uniforms, whether it's, a particular uniform or just a certain dress attire, a certain fad, okay, it can change you. Okay, I used to have certain outfits that when I put them on, a whole different character came out. It just something about putting it on, it brought some out. Okay, I know I'm digressing a little bit, but these were just things that were really heavy on my mind. Okay, and I want to give you an example of something. I saw a guy that I grew up with. He's around my age. Okay, and I'm not gonna give my age. It's women, and so it was clear that by the way that he was dressed, he was a man that had decided to keep up with the fad. and he looked it really, really ridiculous. And no shade to homosexuals, but I'm a child of Christ, and homosexuality is a sin. And I know that it is not the will of God for a man to assume feminine characteristics or even feminine dress. And to me, in my opinion, he was dressed really femininely. But this is a fad that is going on. Okay, I don't know if it's just in my community, but hey, this is what I'm seeing. And I knew, well, I think I know that he's not a homosexual, and I don't think that he realized that that's what he was presenting. Okay, let me take it a step further. Even though he's not a homosexual, guess what he's going to attract? Guess whose attention he's going to attract? Okay, guess what kind of confrontation or what kind of arguments that may, start if a homosexual approaches him in a sexual or suggestive manner. Let's take it a step further. Let's say gunplay happened. Let's say violence, okay, is executed in a situation, all because of keeping up of a fad. Now, I just made it really practical on how deep this is, okay? And I'm gonna be honest with you. There are things that are being implemented into society and into, our culture. And I'm speaking in the African American culture, our community. And it is to dilute masculinity, okay? There is an attack against black men specifically. I'm telling you, like no other time in age, it is an attack upon their masculinity, okay? And the enemy wants to neutralize them. The enemy wants to, pervert things and confuse things, and I'm digressing a lot, y'all. I'm really kind of just running my mouth. In this day and era, even roles have changed up. You got men now that are bragging about the fact that they send their women to work and they're at home playing housewife. Okay, I mean, they want to be taken care of. Okay, this is all just weird stuff that is going on, and it's becoming acceptable. Okay, and people don't realize you're being programmed by the enemy. Okay, we're already being programmed enough, include myself, with cell phones and technology. Okay, we're already being set up whether we realize it or not. But I mean, it's coming all the way down to the fads and fashion sense. I'm seeing things now that is just, it's just obviously satanic. Okay, it's obviously a satanic agenda. Okay, you got men wearing dresses, keeping up with the fads. Okay, wearing purses, nail polish, and just all this kind of, just to me, it's just weird. Okay, and to see a man in this state is actually kind of confusing to me. So this is also an assignment to cause confusion, because I don't know about you, but when I see the immediate response that you get, or the immediate kind of sense that you get when you look at a person that is of a certain sex and they're dressed like the opposite sex, or you see a transgender, it confuses you. Even if you know that this is a man, it's something about it confuses you, and it's something that confuses you, and it's something about it that's bewitching. Okay, and you stare at it. I know I do. I stare. I mean, I don't care how common it's being. I can't get used to it. Okay, I can't, and I don't want to. The minute that I get used to it, I'll find myself in compromise and accepting it and making excuses for it, when I know that clearly this is of the enemy. Okay, and so this was just heavy on me yesterday, something that I saw, and the Spirit, the Holy Spirit just dropped it in me. These are people that are just simply trying to keep up with a fad. Okay, and some of these fads are satanic agenda. Okay, and if you're keeping up with fads, not only are they very, very, very temporary, and you'll find that once that fad is passed, years later, you'll regret that you even participated in the fad, and you'll look back and be like, I can't even believe I wore that. I know I have. I look back on things that I wore and I'm like, wow, seriously, Rashana? So you get caught up in keeping fads, I'm telling you, you're going to get washed away. You're going to get washed up. you're going to be programmed. You're going to be deluded. Not only does it steal your individuality in certain ways, you're playing with spirits. You're attracting spirits. You're attracting unnecessary warfare and problems and drama that I know that you really don't want. People are committing crimes to keep up with fads. People are robbing Peter and to pay Paul, okay, to keep up with fads, okay. You know, jealousy, envy is ensued. Those are very dangerous, very highly dangerous, you know, demonic spirits to play around with or to even incite, you know. And I understand that as a child of God, you can't help it. Okay, just living on earth, you can't help that, you know, jealousy and envy will find its way to you, especially if you own something, especially if you have some confidence and you have, you know, your own sense of style, individuality, or you're a person who don't mind speaking up or speaking out, or you're just a really attractive person, gifted, talented person. But I'm saying it's some things that you can do that can incite certain spirits with, you know, that really you can do without, okay. I'm not saying wearing the latest shoes is a sin. I'm not saying wearing the latest shirt is a sin. I'm saying it's a sin if you wear it just because it's what's in. Okay, I'm saying it's a sin if you wear it and it's just completely just out of the will of God and incites confusion. And I know what you're thinking. Well, that's on you if you get confused about what I'm wearing, because what I'm wearing, that's on me. And all that is true. And all that is true. But I'm talking about this because you're held accountable for that, whether you realize that there is a higher power that you have to answer to at the end of life, on the other side of life, okay? And he's going to ask you about that. He's going to ask me about provocative clothing that I wore. He's going to ask me about, you know, hold me accountable for the people that, you know, I caused to stumble, okay? He going to hold me accountable, and he going to hold you accountable, okay? And so, ride your own wave, man. As children of God, ride your own wave, okay? Quit trying to fit in. You're a child of God. You were never designed to fit in. You are a peculiar person, okay? You are part of a royal priesthood. You really don't want to fit in, okay? You really don't, because God is going to start handling it. He's already started handling his people differently and distinctively from those who are not with him, okay? God gave me a word about that. I released that word where he said, for those that are not with me, it's going to be really dreadful for them, okay? This right now, this year, it is a year for the children of God, okay? And so, people of God, you do not want to fit in. Don't get caught up in fads. Don't allow yourself to be programmed any more than we already have been programmed, okay? You know, technology has already, you know, programmed us in a lot of ways, okay? I know the other day I went to pick up my children from daycare, and I was writing out the clock out time, and there was a you know, that I can't even remember what you call it, but the old-fashioned clock. I looked at it and couldn't even read the time. I just looked at my phone because I'm used to it just being just in digital form, just, you know, straightforward. Okay, and I walked away thinking to myself, wow. And you know what, that's really kind of what incited me to make this video, because then it seemed like after that my eyes was open and I started seeing, you know, the way people are dressing now. And you know, especially the men, like, and I don't think they realize it. And that's a part of the programming. And that's what makes it, some of it, not all of the fads that are going on right now, or I'm saying satanic programming. No, I'm not just being that, you know, dramatic about it, you know. But I'm saying I named off a few, okay? And I know that you know, I'm probably gonna get a lot of blowback for this, and I really don't care, you know. I don't, you know, because I know just, you know, 10 years ago, if you saw a man wearing a purse and black nail polish, I know what you would have assumed, okay? So I don't care about the fact that more men are doing it. The fact that more men are doing it is clear, and it gives confirmation, or it really kind of substantiates what I'm saying. Okay, so, you know, another thing, you know, a lot of the times, you know, we're wearing things and don't understand the spirit of it. I remember when I was in school, I remember at this time it was a big thing. The Gothicism thing came out, where kids were wearing all black lipstick, and they were into Marilyn Manson, and they were saying that they were Satan worshipers and all that, caught up in a fad. Okay, not realizing that they're playing with spirits. Okay, by listening to certain songs, they were opening up portals. Okay, they were playing with Ouija boards, thinking that they were playing, but not realizing that they were really communing with demons and opening up portals. Okay, a fad. Kids that really just don't know what they're delving in, but because this is what everybody else is doing, how everybody else is dressing, that's what they were doing. Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. And I grew up in an era where Tupac was the greatest rapper of all times, and to me still relevant. But the other day I was watching this show I like called Hardly Initiated, and I really recommend y'all to check them out. That it's an awesome podcast that has so much knowledge and just so much, a wealth of knowledge, spiritual, physical, psychological, in every way. It's one of my favorite podcasts, shows to watch, or podcasts to watch. And the host, Tony Gaskin, was on there. That's another guy I recommend y'all watch. I love Tony Gaskin. Straightforward guy, no chaser, giving it to you. But anyway, he was on the show, and he asked the host, he said, "Why you got an earring in your nose?" And the guy said, "Oh, because Tupac had it." And so Tony Gaskin said, what I really remember him saying, he said, "Do you know who Tupac was? Do you know that he actually was a ballerina dancer? He started off as a ballerina dancer." Now, no shade to people who love ballerinas or who are into ballerina dancing or who are ballerina dancers. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what it's about. And I'm in no way saying that Tupac was in any way a homosexual or feminine or anything like that. But I'm just saying that I understood, what Tony Gaskin was getting at. He was like, you're wearing something because it's a fad, and you really don't even know, what it's about. Okay? And that right there kind of substantiated what I had already been noticing and thinking, right? It was just something about yesterday that really just, it got to me. And usually, y'all, I don't really get on here and ramble, but I don't know. So, people of God, ride y'all own wave, okay? You are blessed, you are highly favored. And I just pray that, you all receive this with an open mind, consider what I'm saying. And you all have a blessed one, okay? And I'll be back with another word.